Hello everyone and welcome to my webinar on Administration, Management and Staffing. My name is Rima Ibrahim and I am the Education Manager at NEAS Australia. This workshop will start shortly. In the meantime, please use the mute function until the group discussion starts. I'd also like to remind you that this workshop is for 60 minutes. It's being recorded and that you will receive a link to your certificate and CPD points within 48 hours of completing this course. Also, this webinar is equivalent to 2 CPD points and we will definitely start shortly. So welcome in. All right, I would like to start with an acknowledgement of country. NEAS Australia would like to acknowledge the traditional owners, the Camaragal, the Gadigal and the Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation on whose land NEAS meets, works, studies and teaches. We pay our respect to elders past and present and extend our respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people from all nations of the land. So, for all of those who are not very familiar with NEAS, NEAS has been around for 30 years and we have been offering quality endorsement services across the entire community, starting with the endorsement of quality centres, and currently we run endorsement of quality agents, endorsement of quality products and services, and endorsement of quality ELT professionals. You can find all the information on our website. Please visit our website, go through the different endorsement pages, and don't forget to check the endorsement of ELT professionals where you. So a bit about our framework. The NEAS Quality Assurance Framework is centred around the student experience. And it has many core areas, as you can see, around the student experience. These are the areas that a centre will be assessed against in any quality endorsement activity. And we do have the add-on areas on the right, where centres may choose to be assessed against. The Quality Assurance Framework is organic and it develops in accordance to the needs of the industry, and the new offerings to students. All our standards are available online. If you are endorsed by us, you can refresh yourself by looking at the new areas. And if you are not endorsed by NEAS, please visit our website. Welcome. You're welcome to have a look at all of our quality areas and drivers, and you can use them as a benchmarking tool for your own practices. So, in today's webinar, we will explore Area Quality D, Administration, Management and Staffing. We will also look at the importance of organisational structure in the development of staff and the strategic goal for your colleges. And we will explore the importance of teacher induction and the development of a supportive work culture. So let's start. So I've told you a little bit about us, about NEAS. I would like to learn a little bit about you. So I'm going to start a poll and I want you to select the answer that best describes your current position. So, all right. Are you a manager at an ELT centre? Do you work in student services? Do you work in students admissions, or are you a teacher? I can see interesting results coming through. All right, so we can see that we have 29% as a manager in ELT centres. We've got 14% of our audience works at student services. We have some in student admissions and we also have teachers. So this is very exciting because this will actually help us understand your needs, and also when we get through this workshop, we'll be able to see your opinion and your reflection on the the whole admission management and staffing presentation today. So I would like to start by looking at the Quality Area D, Admissions Management and Staffing. This area is supported by 4 quality principles, which we will explore further in this webinar. And the first quality principle is the centre has an organisational structure that effectively supports the provision of services to students. The second quality principle, D2, the centre recruits staff to meet regulatory requirements as well as the identified needs of the organisation. D3, the centre utilises effective systems for the dissemination of information to stakeholders. And we have D4, the centre supports a performance and development culture for all staff. All of these drivers we'll explore in detail in the upcoming slides. So if we think about the first principle, the centre has an organisational structure that effectively supports the provision of services to students. We might be wondering, what is an organisational structure? So an organisational structure, and if you look at this definition, is a systematic combination of people, your employees, the functions, the role within your organisations, and the facilities that support the completion of these roles. It is the basic pattern of structure within your college, and it must be so designed as to make possible the attainment of the objectives of the business for the 5, 10, or 15 years. So the organisational structure is crucial for the development of any type of business, and especially education. And it does help you grow. It helps you build new courses, develop new staff. It is very important for the development of your colleges. So when thinking about, so how do you know if your own organisational structure is functional? A good way to do so is by looking at the drivers in quality principle D1. So you may be able to come to some conclusions about the way your centre is structured and built. So does the structure of reporting lines within your organisation support effective delivery of service? Think about the structure of reporting line. Do you know who to report to? Do your teachers or staff within the organisation know who's the responsible person? Are there multiple channels? Do they report to many people? Do they report to one person? Is management familiar with the international education environment? And this is very, very important. Does management understand the regulatory requirements in an international education sector? Do they understand the needs of employees? Do they understand the needs of students, the agents, the communication channel? Does your organisational structure support the educational goals and welfare of students? And if we reflect back on the NEAS quality assurance framework, the main focus is the student experience. So you need to go back to your organisational structure and think, is it really supporting their students' goals? Is it providing them with the welfare services that they need to succeed in an Australian context? And are operations supported by documented policies and procedures? Do you have policies and procedures to go back to if you're confused about something? Are your policies and procedures available to all your staff? All of these questions are very important in considering whether your organisational structure is effective or not. So what are the consequences of poor organisational structure, and why is it so important? When there's too many managers, staff need to answer several managers at the same time. And as a result, you'll find that whether your teachers or student support staff, they're confused, they're receiving a variety of messages, they're receiving conflicting messages, maybe different messages from different managers, and nothing's gotten done. So if you think about poor communication, it also results in poor communication and staff exhaustion. There's too many layers of management. Your staff don't know who to communicate to. They're confused. They're tired. There's misinterpretation of messages as they go down from one layer to another. And also, as a result of the poor communication and staff exhaustion, you'll have poor customer service. You have unhappy students, unhappy teachers to start with, unhappy students, unhappy agents, and unhappy parents. So it also causes a lack of innovation within your college. So there's poor communication. This means ideas may not reach higher management. And it also means that teachers who are a great source of good ideas are too tired to share these ideas, and they end up sharing it at another college. It also means a lack of teamwork. So poor cooperation within departments. You have staff focused at completing individual tasks. You have teachers focused at completing teaching the class and walking out. If there is a great idea that could lead to the development of your college, these teachers will not share it with you because they're exhausted. So I want you to think about the structure within your own college, within your own organisation, based on the drivers that we went through. Do you believe that the structure of reporting lines within your workplace support effective delivery of services? Does the structure of reporting lines within your workplace support the delivery of services, but you believe it needs a bit of improvement? Or does this structure of reporting lines within your workplace not support the delivery of services? Or you don't know who your manager is, and I hope no one gives that answer. So I'm just going to start this poll. Sorry, can you please write your answers in the chat box? Can you please, 1, if you believe the structure of reporting lines supports the delivery of service? Can you put number 2 if you believe it doesn't? 3 or 4? I can see a lot of 1s, a lot of 2s. Also 1s and 2s. I'm very happy that there are no 4s. Great, so I can see that the majority of our participants today do have a structure of reporting line that is effective, and some have a structure of reporting line that is effective but needs some improvement, and that could be a result of the current changes in our industry and the need to reskill and upskill and rehire people within colleges and universities. But I'm very happy that we really don't have anyone who answered 4. All right, so this brings us to quality principle D2. The centre recruits staff to meet regulatory requirements as well as the identified needs of the organisation. So the staff within your college, or whether if you're a manager, your teachers have the right qualifications. If you're a manager, you hold the right qualifications to manage an ELT centre. So, and you have documented requirement policy and procedures are informed by centre's strategic plan. The centre leadership team holds the following minimum qualifications and experience: a recognised degree or equivalent, a TESOL qualification, and at a postgraduate diploma level, robust knowledge of and experience in English language and teaching, experience in leading and managing people, and each staff member has a signed statement setting out the terms and conditions of their employment, and a position description and a statement of duties. And this is very important, that as staff, we understand our duties, we understand our role, we are qualified to complete the tasks within a role, we hold the right qualifications. So if you can think about your position description, I know that you do not have your position description right here in front of you, but it would be great to reflect on your understanding of your role. Does your position description clearly articulate your duties? Does it outline some of your duties, but not all of them? Maybe recently you've been taken on new roles, new duties, or you don't have a position description. So please let us know. I'm going to launch this poll. And I want you to so I can see that 56% of our participants today have a position description that clearly articulates the duties. And we've got 44% that outline some of their duties, but not all of them. I'm inviting you to write in the chat section if you can just share why you think your position description does not include duties that you that are not included in your position description. Can you just share with us what kind of duties you are doing that are not included in your position description? If you can just write a word or two in the chat. Quality Principle D3. Oh, we can have some here. Due to COVID, a number of staff have been made redundant, and as a consequence, some duties have been relocated and not yet recorded on my PD. And that is exactly the situation that's happening to many of the managers and also some of the teachers that have taken on new roles. So they're taking on new roles, you're working a little bit, but it has not been recorded yet on your position description. It also indicates that there's been a lot of movement in the industry. There's been a lot of growth currently in what people are doing. And there's also new requirements with the online concept coming in. Thank you, Helen. All right, so Quality Principle D3. The Centre utilises effective systems for the dissemination of information to stakeholders. And this is where we come to think about the communication channels within the own organisation. So is communication with stakeholders considered and approved through formal guidelines? Our staff and students and staff receive information from the centre through various channels. And if we think about various channels, it might include emails, website announcements, LMS announcements, face-to-face announcements now that we're back in the classroom, surveys, student guides, teacher guides. And if we think about our agents, how are we communicating? How are we communicating with these agents? Are you keeping them updated with the changes? Are you running training sessions and seminars? Are you releasing newsletters every month, for example? And are you using agent surveys to gather information on how much they understand about your current situation in your centre? And also you might think about how you connect with students pre-arrival. Do you provide them with a welcome video? I know some centres might provide a welcome video with instructions on how to get to the campus. And how do you familiarise them with your school before they arrive in Australia? It is actually very important, and it helps students feel comfortable and welcomed once they're at your campus. And also, do you have a formal induction process that provides new staff with essential information about the centre and its operations? And I know that currently we're all in a stage of development. There's a lot of new staff coming in, and there's a lot of new staff moving around from one experienced staff, moving around from one centre to another. So all of these, this growth, I'm going to call it growth because I see it as current growth in the industry, does require an effective induction plan. So if we think about our teachers and we think about teacher induction, It's a very important and essential phase in the success of the quality recruitment of teachers. And even very experienced teachers with good knowledge of what the role entails still need induction to ensure maximum effectiveness at your college. So you might think about induction as a starting point for the training and development of staff. So you might also consider whether you have a teacher induction policy and procedure, and whether your policy and your procedure supports your current operations. Think about your teacher induction checklist. Do you have a checklist where you just mark different practices, different training that you have provided to this new teacher? Do you have a teacher manual? And does your teacher manual include a welcome letter to make the teacher comfortable? Does it include a brief history of your school, your organisational chart, who the reporting lines, who to report to and when? Does it include staff name and position descriptions? Does it give any teachers information about their working conditions, the start time, the finish time, details of holiday, sick leave, staff appraisal system, which is really, really important? And does it include details of any trial period and equal opportunities? And do you have a yearly professional development plan to give to this teacher once they begin at your college? Also, you might also think about the type of induction plan you're providing to your teachers. Do you have an extended induction? And I think that's a great way to welcome teachers on board, is to provide them with an induction plan over a period of time, probably 3 months or 6 months. Is it embedded in your daily practice or daily duties? And do you provide practice-focused training to develop pedagogical skills? So you might think, why should we have an effective induction process? Well, it makes teachers or employees efficient as soon as possible. It also encourages them to become committed to your organisation. It reduces the likelihood of staff leaving quickly, and that's something you really don't want at this stage. And it also helps you familiarise the new employee with the job. It helps you quickly dispel the feeling of being out of place, and we know teachers are professionals and they want to be accepted by other professionals. And it also helps familiarise them with the rules, with the custom, with procedures. It helps you build a strong team, and it helps you reduce errors as well. So I want you to share your experience. I know we have a lot of managers in the room. We also have a lot of teachers. So please use the chat box and from your own experience, share your ideas on an effective induction program. What would you like, if you're a teacher, what would you like to be included in an induction program? What have you found very effective? If you're a manager, what do you think is essential to have in an induction program? It's a great way, it's great to share ideas with each other. A thorough tour of the campus, absolutely. You want your teachers to know where to find stuff. You want them to know how to exit the building, the fire exit as well. The resource room, where to find resources. Explanation of attendance procedure and use of student management system, absolutely. And I find that very useful to also have in a manual, whether it is an online manual or a printed manual. It's always important that teachers receive these policies, the policies and procedures pertaining to attendance and the management system as well. Teacher manual should be included, 100%. Student manual, public and school transport options. Yes, especially if we're dealing with under 18 students. It's very important that the teacher understands the student manual. They help students if they have problems with public transport and their student transport options. Many resources just subutilized. Yeah. I know that a lot of the teachers right now are sharing online resources. So having a space online where you can share resources with teachers per level, per class, per course, and including that link in the training, whether it's an online training manual or in your face-to-face training with the teacher. A buddy, if possible, someone to answer questions you might be too shy to ask your manager, absolutely. And I think that's such a very important tool to have, a teacher mentor, someone to go to when you're new to the college, someone who can train teachers, and most likely someone teaching the same level or the same course. We're still open to ideas, explanation of issues such as leave, pay, and I would like to add to that also pay system, how to complete your timesheet. Yeah, who to talk to if you have a problem with your payment. Mentors across the board, not just for teachers, also for student services, also for admissions. Policies surrounding COVID-19 safety on campus, absolutely. Ensure all staff know who the student counsellor is and be aware of identifying welfare issues, 100%. So it's not only the student counsellor that teachers or staff need to learn about, it's also their own counsellor, how to access counselling services for staff and students. And I would say it's very important to have the code of conduct for staff and students included in the orientation process. And how to report a critical incident. Because some students might come to their teachers or come to student services to report a critical incident. This is very important that it is articulated at an early stage. So great contribution there, great ideas coming through, all very effective for the development of staff orientation. Thank you, everyone. All right, so well, this brings us to quality principle D4. The centre supports a performance and development culture for all staff. And this is what it somehow relates to, of course, staff orientation and teacher induction. So you look at the staff performance and development process. Does it occur in a cycle which provides a structure for appraising performance and developing and refining practices? So do you have a yearly recorded review cycle? And I know that a lot of centres may do this, may have this kind of yearly review cycle, but it's not recorded. It is very important that it's structured, it's recorded, it's part of the policy, it is articulated to teachers during the induction process, and that observations and appraisals are conducted on a regular basis. It's part of the teacher's professional development or your staff's professional development. An established culture of sharing contributes to innovation and best practice. As I think some of the comments that we had through sharing resources, having a space where teachers can share all of their resources, where also, if we think about student services and admissions, they have a space where they can share resources as well and share practices. Staff are supported in working towards their professional goals through access to opportunities for development. So that's where we think about a culture. Have you created a culture that rewards and recognises exceptional work? How do you keep your staff motivated? Do you encourage them to take part in professional development or deliver professional development themselves? And how do you encourage them to grow? So professional development is aligned with the centre's strategic goals. Also, staff professional development, are they taught on new platforms? Are they provided with the professional development they need to take on new classes, new courses? Innovation and best practices are recognised and captured through a structured process. So I know that there's a lot of innovation happening at the meantime, but is it captured? Is it recorded? Are you looking at a continual development plan and continual development opportunities for your teachers and staff? So now I want you, from your own experience, to think about training opportunities and activities that you believe support a performance and development culture. It could be based on what you believe you need training in, or different types of training and activities you have engaged your staff in to develop. So a second opportunity to share knowledge, to share experiences. I'm inviting you to put some of your ideas in the chat box, including staff in the planning process. Yeah, this is basically something that happens a lot. You might not be, most of the staff are not included in the planning process. Decisions are made, the teachers, even managers are surprised with what they need to do, and they haven't been involved in it. So it's kind of a shock for them. Make aware of external PD providers. That is very, very important. Develop staff through external professional development frameworks available out there. There's a lot of professional development opportunities within NEAS or EA, so it's really important to include these in your yearly professional development plan. Publishing whole year of PD events in advance. Sharing these with your teachers, inviting your teachers to take part in professional development as well, to run professional development sessions, to have teacher sessions where they just sit and share ideas, hold meetings with teachers to share ideas and innovations, and work together with teachers to deliver internal PDs, definitely. An external trainer to come to review staff work styles with a fresh eye. Yeah. Yeah. And you can always keep staff informed of PDs available online, especially latest trends occurring overseas. And there's a lot of professional development opportunities within NEAS that I would take you through in a bit. But of course, external professional development is very important. It keeps your staff up to date with the latest trends, whether they are locally in Australia or even overseas. And I can say teacher encouragement is very important. So always encourage your teachers notice their hard work, thank them for the hard work. It always generates more productivity when teachers feel that they are valued. Have whole school PD sessions, creates inclusiveness and collegiality in all departments across the campus. And that is such a great point there, because sometimes there's a lot of professional development activities within one department, but not within the whole college or university. When these different departments come together, it's a great opportunity to grow together. Set up a point system and provide certificate at end of year for teachers' personal CV. Yep. Certificate of achievement for professional development sessions they have attended or they have delivered. Celebration of the staff diverse culture. It makes them feel that they are appreciated, it makes them feel comfortable at your school. It makes them feel that they're part of your school community. That is very important. Record PD taken. Great ideas there, great ideas. And definitely a lot of ideas that you can, if you haven't really done some of these ideas at your college, it's a great opportunity to take with you some of these ideas and try to implement them with your own staff. And I know that there was a lot of notes, external professional development opportunities for staff, which brings us to the professional development opportunities you can open to your staff that are available through NEAS. So as part of our services to the ELT community, we provide a range of professional development courses. And we also for courses where you can also gain credentials for completing online courses. So if you are a member of NEAS, you can apply to become an ELT professional, and you will earn the NEAS Endorsed Centre EL badge. If you do not work for a NEAS Endorsed Centre, you can still apply to become an ELT professional, and you will receive the Associate Membership badge. Now, upon completion of courses that NEAS provides online, if you have had a look at NEAS online courses, please, if you haven't, please have a look. Daniel has just put the link in the chat box. Upon completion of the core courses that are available on NEAS online, you will receive the core course completed badge, and upon completion of specialization courses, you will receive the specialization completed badge. Now, if you complete the Master Practitioner in ELT course, and this is the capstone course online, you do receive the Master Practitioner badge. Our professional development is aligned with the Quality Assurance Framework, and the courses focus on special areas of quality assurance, as well as practical tasks that could help you as a professional manager, a teacher, or a support staff improve your practices. So upon completion of all of these courses, we award you with the NEAS Endorsed ELT Professional. And we have introduced a new badging system where you can share an interactive badge on your LinkedIn, on your social media, and also your email signature and your resume. So it's a great way to show your commitment to professional development, and also to show your credentials to prospective employers. Another way to develop your staff is to become members of NEAS communities of practice. So if we look at the broad definition of communities of practice, they are groups of people who share a common concern, a passion for something they do, and learn how to do it better as they interact together. So we have created 6 communities of practice to provide a collaborative professional development experience to the ELT sector. If you attended our conference in May, you probably had a chance to sit on some of the panels that for these communities. But if you haven't, it's not a problem. We will have these panels recorded and on NEAS Online very soon. And you'll be able to sign up for upcoming sessions for our communities of practice. So these communities are divided into 2 categories. We have communities that are aligned with our quality assurance framework, including school preparation community. We have the ELT qualifications, which is suitable for teachers and managers who would like to stay abreast with the new requirements, ELT qualification requirements, and also to learn about each training within different centres and how different centres are upskilling their staff. We have the education agents, a community of practice. And we also have special interest communities, including the art-based pedagogy in ELT. You'll find a lot of drama there. You'll find it as a space to share your experiences, to share your teaching tips and how to incorporate drama into your program. There's also research in ELT community of practice for those interested in research, and leadership in ELT for anyone who's currently a leader in the ELT or someone who's aspiring to become a leader in an ELT centre. So the purpose of these communities is to foster a supportive environment, a space to share knowledge, build better practices, to share our experiences, to achieve common goals, and also to solve problems. So please have a look at our professional development timetable. It is available on our website. Sign up to upcoming sessions. Our next session is art-based pedagogy on the 8th of July. As I said earlier, it's a great opportunity for you to share your experience and to learn from each other. And also to receive a certificate for this workshop. You will receive a link to your email within 48 hours. It does include a quiz, so please complete the quiz and then you'll be able to access your certificate and your CPD points. And as mentioned in some of the comments today, it is a very important tool for teachers and managers to be able to keep a hold of all their CPD points in one place. So once you become a member of NEAS Online, you'll be able to access your dashboard, and that is where you can find all your certificates. You can find all the courses that you have completed, and you can also find upcoming courses that you might want to complete and webinars that you might want to like to take part in. And it's a place for you to have all your CPD points in one place. So please have a look at that. We do have time for questions, so please share your questions in the chat section. These questions could be directed either to me, it could be directed to anyone in the audience, some of the participants. So if you have a question, please share it. And let's take advantage of this time. Do we know how many NEAS centres no longer exist per COVID and how many new centres have started up? Oh, that requires a bit of counting, but there are some centres that no longer exist. But from my knowledge, there are some centres that are starting up again. There are some centres that were hibernating and getting back, and we have some new ones that have just joined. To have access to all the centres that are currently with NEAS, please visit our website, and I think Daniel's just going to pop in the link in the chat box. You'll be able to see international centres and centres per state, as well as the quality endorsed services and quality endorsed ELT providers. There's nothing hidden, it's all on our website. And as Daniel just mentioned, there's a lot of overseas centres that are growing strongly. Okay, if you have any questions about professional development, about our quality assurance framework, about activities that NEAS would like to start in the upcoming weeks, that would be great. So I just also wanted to share that on the 30th of June, we have another webinar on incorporating future-ready skills in academic curriculum design. It's also going to be an interactive webinar where we invite our audience to take part and participate and share ideas. On the 8th of July, we have the community of practice. We have the art-based pedagogy webinar happening. And it's a great, also going to be a couple of presentations and a space for the community to get together online across states and across countries to share ideas on drama in ELT and art-based pedagogy. On the 14th of July, we have the student experience, and it's also another 1 hour webinar. So if you're interested in joining these webinars, please look at our professional development timetable and just register. Thank you. We still have time for questions, but it would be great if you can scan this barcode. Let us know what you thought about this webinar. Your feedback is very, very important. It does help us improve the quality of our webinars and also target your interest. It only takes a couple of minutes. So please let us know your feedback. And thank you so much for your input. We do have time for questions, so I'm going to be here for another 5 minutes. Your experiences with us, it's very valuable. Okay, have a great evening, everyone, and thank you again for participating in this webinar today.